Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Good Thursday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our 2 p.m. First Alert weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here on this snowy Thursday afternoon. That snow moved in just a little bit earlier in the morning, and it's continued to fall across Michigan. A good thing is dry air has been winning the battle at times here into the early afternoon, so that widespread snow has been lighter at times. When we take a look outside right now, this is our downtown Saginaw camera, and it is showing there is snowfall right now, but not really seeing much in terms of accumulations on the roads. It's one of those days where temperatures are warm enough that road treatments should be able to take care of any of those slick spots. Yes, still be careful out there if you do have to travel here over the next probably 2 days, but things are looking good on many of our main roads. It'll be those back roads, side roads that you could still run into some issues here as we get through the rest of our Thursday into our Friday. Looking at some other locations across the region, this is our Flint Harley-Davidson vehicle city camera. What you see there is that snow falling, but traffic looks to be flowing relatively good here in the 2 o'clock hour. Then we move up north to Birch Run, which is also showing maybe a few flakes of snow, but otherwise traffic flowing good here in the 2 o'clock hour. Okay, when we go back to our sky tracker, it does show that snow chance is trying to lighten up. I think it is still falling. Any of the snow that you do see falling right now is pretty low in the atmosphere. I think that's mainly why we're seeing our sky tracker maybe struggle. So even though it does show that it's going away, don't be surprised if you continue to see snow, I think through about 4 p.m. I think that's really our timeline for the rest of today. After that, it's just isolated chances until tomorrow morning. And let's look at our snow chances here for the next probably, we'll say 24 hours. Again, right around 4 p.m., that snow chance will go away. You may see some lake effect snow trying to develop out towards 127 through the night, but for the most part, we are going to be dry. It's right around 3 to 4 a.m. that we start to see our next snow chance arrive. If you were watching yesterday, you watched our afternoon shows and evening shows, or even our shows this morning, you probably noticed that there's one difference, and it doesn't seem like it's as widespread as maybe as what we had for yesterday's stream. And I'm going to zoom out just to show you why. There's been a little bit of a shift in the models with this system. What I'm going to say is we're still going to see snow. It could be heavy at times. But it does appear that the heaviest and more consistent snowfall has shifted out of mid-Michigan and now down to the sort of west and southwest portions of the lower peninsula. So that's a good thing, obviously, for anyone that has travel plans across the Tri-Cities, into Flint, the Thumb, even north of the Bay, that yes, you're going to see snow, but that shift has really helped pull away most of that heaviest snowfall and that consistent snowfall as we get through the rest of our Friday morning. But again, we will still see some snow possible from 3 a.m. to about, I'd say, 8 a.m. To 9 a.m. Friday. By midday, it becomes very isolated, and we'll actually see drier conditions remain in place just outside of a few lake effect snow chances for Friday afternoon, but you may actually end up seeing some sunshine as we get through the remainder of our Friday afternoon. Now we'll see if it lets me zoom in here. It's fighting me a little bit. Let's go back to start. Why is this not? I apologize. I don't know why our system is giving me some issues right now. Let's see if I can just go back to it real quick. There we go. Okay. So like I mentioned, that snow chance for today moves out right around 2 p.m. or 2 p.m., right around 4 p.m., and then we should be mostly dry tonight. Brooke asked, how's Huron County for tonight? Actually, you should be relatively good. Yes, you may run into a few snow chances, but that trend of snow reaching you has really continued to back off. Anything you see now is probably your best chance, and then through the night, most of them in Michigan, including Huron County, should be on the drier side. It will be right around 3 a.m. that I think you do start to see some snow chances. So as you're waking up tomorrow morning, you definitely have that possibility of seeing some snow. We'll see how things develop. Like I said, the heaviest snow has continued to shift to the south-southwest. And in terms of snow accumulations, again, if you're watching yesterday, you'll notice a change in this. We did back off just a little bit right now because of that dry air this morning and that shift to the southwest tomorrow. Right now we're sitting at 1 to 2 inches across Michigan. So a change for many that don't want to see more snowfall. I know a lot of people are getting really sick of it. We just really can't break the streak. But it is there, 1 to 2 inches for the 2-day total. So this includes the snow we've already seen and the snow that we have tonight into tomorrow morning. So 1 to 2 inches of snow there. Could you get a little bit more than that? I'm not going to count it out. There will be a few areas I think you could get closer to 3. But I think a majority of people, if everything holds together, which it does look like it's going to, you're going to be looking at 1 to 2 inches. Derek asks, hi Stone, after 5 p.m. today, how much can we expect for tomorrow? Really, it's going to be about the same. Probably about another inch at most for many areas. Again, it does look to be a little bit of a heavier snow tomorrow. We're a little bit warmer, so maybe a little bit more moisture within the snow chance. So anything that does fall might be just a little bit bigger flakes. It might be a little bit heavier of a snow. So just be prepared for that. It's going to be a little bit different than what we had today, where today's been a little bit lighter, even though it's consistent. We get a little bit more moisture in, we get a little bit warmer tomorrow, so that snow may end up accumulating just a little bit quicker at times as it is heavier. But like I mentioned, we are warmer. So road treatments, salt on your driveway, that will help fight off any of those slick spots that we do see as we get through tonight into tomorrow morning. Still be careful though. We want you to be safe, especially on back roads. Maybe crews don't get to it as quickly today into tomorrow morning. You definitely could run into some spots with some snow-covered roads. Now, let's take a look at our road conditions just real quick here just to show you what we're seeing. Really good travel conditions up to the north. There was some areas out towards US 10 that were showing some slowdowns there near Midland, but that has actually improved at this point. The rest of the Tri-Cities area is also looking to be in good shape. Then as we move down to the south, things are looking good. Like I mentioned, there are going to be a few slick spots out there, but so far I think our temperatures are warm, salt is going to be able to work properly. So most places, I think your biggest concern for today, probably going to be reduced visibilities because it is going to get windy here over the next couple of hours. As we look at our sustained winds right now, it's sitting at 5 to 15 miles per hour. So that's going to be enough that if we do get some consistent snowfall and get some light accumulations, just seeing that blowing snow and that falling snow reduce visibility at times. And in terms of wind gust right now, we are seeing a few areas trying to get up to 20. West Branch at 16, Mount Pleasant at 17, and Owasso at 17 miles per hour. Again, I do think tomorrow really looks to become windy. We'll have some updates on that here in just a second. But as we get through the rest of our afternoon, we do see those snow chances being on and off, and then temperatures being in the 20s through the remainder of the day into tonight. You're just going to be looking at overcast skies. So that's a good thing. Obviously, those snow chances, I talked to a lot of people, really don't want to see more snow chances. We'll just see what's going on in chat here. Kimberly says going around us in Caro anyway. Yeah, that's an area that I think you're just going to be in that point where snow is having a tough time reaching you. And that was really what the models were showing us yesterday, was that snow line really just setting up right around sort of western Tuscola County into the Tri-Cities and sort of dying out. So I'm not going to count out some light snow, but definitely on the lighter side if you do see anything through the remainder of today. It stopped snowing in Gladwin at 1. Again, that doesn't surprise me. You may run into some lighter stuff here or there, again, through the rest of the day, but it should be relatively light as we get here over the next couple of hours. But I do have to take a quick break. Once I come back from that break, we are going to be looking at temperatures here for the next couple of days, a cool down for Friday night into Saturday morning, and again, those snow chances for tomorrow morning. So make sure you stay right here. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here, live for the second half of our TV5 First Alert weather live stream. We're going to start off looking at our lows tonight. Actually not dropping that far from what we're seeing our highs this afternoon. It's upper teens to the lower 20s, an area like Gladwin at 22, Standish at 20, Bay City at 22, with Saginaw following right there at 22, and Flint at 19 degrees. So really one of the warmer nights we've seen in quite a while. This really leads us into a higher temperature day tomorrow as we finally look to beat that streak of below freezing temperatures. Highs for our Friday are back into the mid to lower 30s. Still got a few areas, especially out towards Huron County, Sanilac and Tuscola counties, that you'll be at or just below freezing. But for the remainder of mid-Michigan, it does look like you're going to be in better shape for our Friday. Even a few areas maybe getting closer to 40. So definitely a good change compared to what we had been seeing over the last couple of weeks. That really just looks to be a development. I will highlight, though, our highs for tomorrow will be earlier in the day. Most likely right around noon is when we'll see our highs, because that snow chance in the morning is going to start to pull in some colder air, and it is going to start to drop our temperature. So as you get into Friday evening, we do have to keep an eye out on our wind chills, our feels-like temperatures, because it is going to be windy. We'll get to our winds here in a second. But with our temperatures dropping, we'll be into the single digits just after sunset in many locations. With our wind up to 30 to 40 miles per hour, feels like temperatures will be below zero in the single digits, teens and 20s, getting even cooler as we get through the night, Friday into Saturday morning. So if you have outdoor plans for Saturday morning, just be prepared for this. We'll have to keep an eye out, see if the National Weather Service does end up issuing one of those cold weather advisories. It wouldn't surprise me if they end up doing that as we get through tomorrow. Because we're getting down to 20 below zero again, and it just looks to be a cold Saturday morning. As we get to Saturday afternoon, though, we do see some recovery, and by 2 p.m. Saturday, it looks like we'll be back above zero. So some good change there. It's not a long-term cool down. Just that one morning, we have that good combination, that right combination of stronger wind and cooler temperatures. And like I mentioned, it is going to get windy out there. If you've been outdoors right now, you probably notice it is pretty breezy. We'll continue to see winds out of the southwest at 15 to 30 miles per hour. This is now through 11 p.m. As we wake up tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon, well, we see those winds tick up just a little bit more. So this is 2 p.m. on Friday, seeing wind gusts out of the north-northwest at, I'm going to say, 20 to 40 miles per hour. So definitely a windy day. That's why we have to keep an eye out on our temperatures, because as they drop and we see these wind, that's why that feels like temperature does really start to drop through Friday night into Saturday morning. Another concern for this is if we do end up getting some light accumulations of snow, anything that is fresh will start to blow around. So if you live in an area that has been fighting blowing snow here over the last couple of weeks, I think you continue that fight at least through today into tomorrow. The one thing that will end up happening is as our temperatures drop later into Friday evening, that will be cold enough that we sort of get that crust on top of the fresh snow, so it starts to harden up just a little bit, and that will help fight off that blowing snow. So even as winds continue to stay relatively breezy into Saturday morning, I think that new accumulations of snow should be hardened enough that that blowing snow concern starts to lower as we get into Saturday. But still just keep an eye on if you have travel plans. You will run into some impacts with accumulating snow and blowing snow. Now, as we get back to our hour by hour, I just want to show this again. It continues to show that snow chance in mid-Michigan through about, I'd say, 4 p.m. Yes, you will catch some light stuff. It's not totally gone, but we're in a better spot compared to what we've had through a majority of this morning into this early afternoon. It will be right around, I'd say, 4 to 5 a.m. that we start to see our next round of snow for Friday morning. Again, there has been a little bit of change with this system. It has shifted a little bit farther to the south-southwest. So with that change, we are going to see most likely lower accumulations. Now, the one thing that may end up getting us tomorrow morning just a little bit is I do think that snow is going to be a little bit heavier as we get through the morning. So yes, it's a shorter period of time, but we end up seeing heavier snowfall, and we actually may end up seeing more of sort of that watery snowfall. So a little bit bigger snowflakes, a little bit heavier if you do have to shovel it, just because we are a little bit warmer. That allows for more moisture, and that's where we could see some of that wet snow, I should say, falling as we get through Friday morning. So that ends up making things slick and slushy as you wake up for your Friday morning, but it is warmer. As we get to midday though, by Friday afternoon, most of that snow chance should be gone, and we'll actually just see some isolated chances through Friday afternoon into Saturday with some sunshine for both days, for both Friday and Saturday. And if you missed it earlier, snowfall potential, this is again a 2-day total. We're continuing to sit now at 1 to 2 inches. I'm not going to count out a few areas getting up to 3. It is a possibility, especially if we can get a shift in our pattern once again. If we shift back into mid-Michigan, that system for Friday morning, we most likely probably see 1 to 3 instead of that 1 to 2. But with a lot of those forecasting models pushing this system a little bit farther to the southwest, we have lowered our snow totals at 1 to 2 inches. So that is just something that is going to change. It's going to be very close as we get through the rest of today into our Friday. And I don't see any more questions in our chat, so I'm going to just take a quick look at our 7-day forecast before I end the stream. What you have is temperatures in the 30s for Friday. Again, a warmer day with that cool down for Friday night into Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, we'll be back into the teens, but it's not a long-term cool down. By Sunday, we're in the 20s. We'll be in the upper 20s on Monday, and then we see a few days back into the 30s. You do see, though, there is maybe some more lighter snow chances looking to develop, especially on Tuesday into Wednesday. With our temperatures being in the lower 30s, it'll just be something we have to keep an eye out for, is a wintry mix. We're just warm enough you could see sort of that mix of sleet, snow, and rain, and then maybe even some freezing rain. It's still a long ways out, though. Things have definitely changed here over the last 24 hours. So we'll see how this ends up evolving as we get through the rest of today and tomorrow. And that's why you're going to want to tune in to our live streams the rest of this week. Again, we do have a live stream later into the day, our evening stream at 9 p.m., where TV5 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will have more updates on your weather. We'll also have our newscast at 4, 5, 5:30, and 6. And the 10 and the 11, where we have more updates. So you're going to want to tune into those just for more updates if you do have to be outdoors over the next couple of days. You can also check out our website at WNEM.com. There's a weather tab where you can get more from the TV5 First Alert weather team. But with that, I don't see any questions in our chat. Hopefully everyone can stay dry today, stay warm, and stay safe. Have a good rest of your Thursday.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.